What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everybody for tuning in. I want to talk about an ESPN reporter. She covers the UFC and I think some other sports as well. Her name is Megan Olivi. I believe that's how you say it, Olivi, but I'm gonna go by Olivi. Okay. She's saying that she was hurt because Stephen A. Smith tweeted and congratulated the UFC crew for the amazing showcase. And for her to turn this into, you forgot to tweet about me. So I'm hurt about that. When I'm pretty sure there were other people that he probably could have congratulated, but didn't. He congratulated the people that he knew. I don't think that Stephen A. Smith was doing this on purpose. It was a mistake. Or maybe he didn't feel like she was important enough. Now, she's a presenter for the UFC. She has been for the last couple of years. What's interesting also about her is that she's actually married to an MMA fighter. And she's been married to him, I believe, almost, 6 years now? They've been married, right? And she's been covering the UFC. Mainly like that, she's considered a presenter, but I find it interesting how she wants to put this on Stephen A. Smith almost as if she believes he may have done this on purpose. Let's get to the article. This is from the New York Post. It says ESPN UFC reporter Megan felt genuinely hurt after colleague Stephen A. Smith failed to include her in a tweet celebrating the network's all-male team that covers the UFC. Smith took to Twitter in late March to brag about ESPN's UFC team, writing, "Forgive me for bragging, but we've got the best UFC coverage in the world, ESPN Plus." All right, let's see. The First Take host went on to tag ESPN employees, former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion turned commentator Daniel Cormier, and MMA color commentator Joe Rogan, among others. At the time, Megan replied to Smith's tweet with, "Hey there, you're forgetting someone," along with a smiling emoji. Smith did not reply publicly because he didn't feel the need to. He didn't need to. Stephen A. Smith did not have. Okay, what does Stephen A. Smith really need to reply for? Like, seriously, what exactly are you wanting Stephen A. Smith to do? Do you want to put out a public statement? Especially if this tweet is old, because looking at this article, it's as if this is an old tweet. Let's go to the tweet. This was in March, and he was congratulating the team for their ESPN coverage, right? So Megan, this was in March, people. This was in March. But let's get to the article. On Friday, April 23rd, Megan spoke about Smith's lack of acknowledgement for her work as the only woman on ESPN's UFC pay-per-view team. Oh boy, here we go with you didn't include me because I'm a woman. And this is the problem that we have. He didn't acknowledge you, but you got to understand it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose that he didn't acknowledge you, but she's making it personal when she's saying that she's the only woman there and he didn't acknowledge her. I don't think he did that on purpose. The new Stephen A. Smith is very, he knows what's going on. He doesn't want to piss off anybody. I don't think he would do this on purpose. But in her mind, she believes that he would do this on purpose. Just based off of how this is coming along. That was actually tough for me, she said during a Q&A after UFC 261, when a reporter mentioned that UFC fans appreciated her clapback at Stephen A. Smith. Oh boy, her clapback at Stephen A. Smith. I find it very interesting how women can clap back at men on social media. And it's funny. It's hilarious. oh my God, you got him, right? But if Stephen A. Smith was to respond, because I believe Stephen A. Smith said, you know what, it was better for me to not say anything than for me to say the wrong thing, because Stephen A. Smith probably wanted to go off. I mean, if he could look at what she's saying now and he see her reply, he probably, would reply back the only way he knows how to. And he said, you know what, I'm not going to say anything, because here we go with the virtue signaling. And they like when women can go at a guy, right? Because we have a society that wants masculine women, even though this woman is married, right? They want her to act like a man-hating feminist. They want to push her in this role of defending herself against toxic masculinity, when really this was just maybe an honest mistake on Stephen A. Smith's part, who probably did not see her as a big part of the coverage. Even I got it wrong at the beginning when I spoke about how Stephen A. Smith was congratulating them about their coverage of the recent pay-per-view, when it was really something that happened in late March, which really makes this even worse because you're speaking about something that happened a month ago. Okay. And she's making it a big deal because she wants to push this narrative that Stephen A. Smith did this because she's a woman. I don't love social media in general, but then to play such a big role in terms of pre and post fight interviews, like I'm the one on site doing them. Then to do all the hits on the broadcast and be a part of this team, and literally the only woman on the pay-per-view team. There's not a female desk host. There's no one on the pre or post show. Well, you need to take that up with the ESPN. ESPN feel like they've assembled the best team of people possible for the broadcast. There was no woman that could fill that role. Maybe they can go get Ronda Rousey. Who knows? And she would probably do a terrible job. But once again, you have to put people in roles that they fit. And maybe the pre and post shows don't have a woman who fits that role. Like NASCAR has a female that does I believe like the pre-race shows during the week, and she seemed to do a good job, right? Maybe ESPN, which is supposed to be the most diverse sports network out there, doesn't care about UFC coverage like that. They really don't, to the point to where they would actually put a woman in that position. Maybe you should ask to be put as a host of the show then, of the Death Show. It's literally just me, and I've worked to be here. I wasn't handed this. It's been a very long journey. As people who've seen me over 10 years ago, I'm sure can attest to, I've done everything the right way to get here. What is she trying to say? That she's done everything the right way? Are you saying that there are women who've not done everything the right way? Interesting. And to not get the acknowledgement as my male colleagues got, I genuinely was so hurt. It was nice to see the MMA community have my back on it. Of course, because you're a complaining woman who wants your work to speak for itself. Stephen A. Smith is one man. And if the MMA community has your back, why do you care so much about what one man tweets? She's acting like Stephen A. Smith went on national television and thanked everybody else but her. You can only put but so many characters on Twitter. And she's trying to make it seem like it's something personal. So because Stephen A. Smith didn't acknowledge you in a tweet, you got really butthurt about this. You were genuinely hurt because he didn't include you in a tweet. This is somebody who they live for validation of others. That's what this tells me. So okay, if Stephen A. Smith tweets out the NBA broadcast team or the NFL broadcast team and a male sideline reporter or interviewer doesn't get acknowledged, do you think he's going to hop on social media and complain? If you did everything the right way and you want your work to speak for itself, why do you care what Stephen A. Smith has to say? Stephen A. Smith doesn't even cover the UFC. So why would you care what his opinion is on a tweet when he probably didn't even know what your Twitter handle was? It actually is a good thing that he is congratulating the team, because it shows that the UFC team is doing a good job. But the fact that she feels the need to hop on social media and look for validation, even though she says she did everything the right way, just shows you that a lot of women these days, they feel like they should be validated every single day by every single person. It could have been somebody else and not Stephen A. Smith, and she still would have been complaining about this. Stephen A. Smith is one man. What do you expect? Megan added, it's unfortunately something the women in the room have dealt with before and will have to continue to deal with. As for Smith's intention behind the tweet, Megan says she doesn't think he excluded her on purpose. Okay, so what are you complaining about if he didn't do it on purpose? You're acting as if he did it on purpose. I don't think there was any malintent. I don't think he was trying to be rude by any means. I just think it really didn't matter to him. Of course it didn't, because maybe you aren't as relevant as you think you are. You know? I mean, who watches ESPN for UFC coverage? Right? 2 days after Megan's comments, Smith included her in a separate tweet, giving her props once again to ESPN's UFC team. This was what? 2 days after her comments. Megan's issue with Smith comes just a few weeks after Smith issued a public apology on First Take for blasting his ESPN colleagues on air over the network's NBA best one. That's why I say this is the new Stephen A. Smith. This isn't the Stephen A. Smith that we've known over the years. This is the new Stephen A. Smith, the apologetic Stephen A. Smith. This is a joke. If women want to be treated as men, you're going to have to deal with the same things that men deal with. There are a lot of men who are very underappreciated, and they don't get on social media, and they don't complain for validation. That's exactly what she did, to the point where Stephen A. Smith had to go and include her in a tweet. This is absolutely pathetic. And you claim that you worked a long time to get where you at, and because one man doesn't include you in a tweet, you're hurt about that. You're mad. You're saying it's because you're a woman, but there was no ill intent towards you. So which one is it? Why complain? Why be hurt? There are men who are very underappreciated, and they have worked a long time to get to where they're at, and you don't see them running to Twitter or running to do interviews talking about how hurt they are, because they understand it's the nature of the business. Some people are going to acknowledge you, some people aren't. And apparently getting acknowledged by men like Stephen A. Smith is something that means a lot to her.